Let's talk about the most complex and, honestly, the most important piece of equipment you'll ever own, your brain. We're going to open up the owner's manual today and see exactly how the food you eat quite literally builds, fuels, and protects your mind.
You know that feeling, right? It's 2 in the afternoon and suddenly you just can't focus. Or maybe it's late at night and you feel this wave of anxiety for no reason at all. Well, what if I told you those feelings aren't random? They're actually signals your brain is sending you, and they could be tied directly to what was on your plate earlier.
So, if we could look inside, what is our brain actually made of? Well, take out all the water, and this is what you're left with. The biggest piece of the pie, by far, is fat. Yep, fat. Then you've got proteins and amino acids, and a smaller but super important slice for micronutrients and glucose. And every single one of these plays a massive role in your mood, your memory, and your focus. Let's break it down.
All right, first up, we've got the builders. Think of fats and proteins as the actual bricks and mortar for your brain. They are the physical stuff that creates the entire structure.
Now let's zoom in on something called essential fatty acids. The key word here is essential, and that's because your brain literally cannot make these fats, like omega-3s and omega-6s, on its own. It needs you to eat them. We're talking about foods like nuts, seeds, and fatty fish. These fats create the very walls, the membranes, of every single one of your brain cells.
And this makes it crystal clear. Not all fats are created equal. It's not even close. You've got the good guys on one side, the omegas, which are building you up and helping to prevent disease. And on the other side, you have things like trans fats and too much saturated fat, which can actually damage your brain's health. You got to choose the right building materials for the job.
Okay, let's switch over to the other key building block, proteins. When you eat protein, your body breaks it down into these little things called amino acids. Now, these amino acids are the raw ingredients your brain uses to create neurotransmitters. And trust me, neurotransmitters are, well, they're kind of everything. These are the tiny chemical messengers that basically run the show. They control how you feel. For instance, an amino acid called tryptophan, which you get from stuff like turkey or cheese, is what your brain needs to make serotonin. And serotonin? That's the chemical that helps you feel calm, happy, and centered. And it doesn't stop there. What about sleep? Well, these messengers control that too. That same serotonin we just talked about is actually a precursor for melatonin, which is the hormone that tells your body when it's time to power down for the night. So yeah, what you eat directly impacts how well you sleep. And yep, you guessed it, your ability to focus is also in the mix. Neurotransmitters like dopamine and norepinephrine, the ones that get you alert and concentrated, are also made from amino acids you get from protein. A balanced diet keeps these messengers in balance, and that's what keeps you sharp. Okay, so we've built the structure. Now, how do we keep it safe? That's where micronutrients come into play. I want you to think of these guys as your brain's personal security detail and maintenance crew, working around the clock to prevent any damage.
See, your brain is under constant assault from these things called free radicals. They're just unstable molecules that cause wear and tear on your cells. But the antioxidants you find in colorful fruits and veggies, they are the defense force. They neutralize these threats and protect your brain for the long haul. And here's the rest of that all-star crew. We're talking B vitamins, iron, zinc, copper. All of them are absolutely critical. But without a steady supply of these micronutrients, your brain is left vulnerable, open to disease and cognitive decline.
So, we've got the structure, we've got the protection, now we need to talk about power. Your brain is an incredibly busy place, and it needs a shocking amount of energy to run. Its favorite type of fuel? Carbohydrates.
I mean, get a load of this number. Your brain is only about 2% of your body's weight, but it's an absolute energy hog. It burns through 20% of all the calories you consume in a day. Most of that energy comes from glucose, which your body gets from carbs. If your brain doesn't get enough fuel, believe me, it's the first thing you'll notice. But just like with fats, the quality of that fuel makes all the difference. High glycemic carbs, like white bread or candy, dump sugar into your system all at once. It's like a flash in the pan. But low glycemic carbs, like oats or beans, provide a slow, steady release of energy. And for your brain, slow and steady definitely wins the race.
And we've all ridden this roller coaster, haven't we? You eat something sugary and for a minute, you feel great. That's the rush. You're energized, you're focused, but it doesn't last. Soon after comes the crash. Your blood sugar plummets and suddenly you feel tired, irritable, and you can't think straight. That's the brain fog we were talking about right at the beginning. So when you put all these pieces together, that old saying, "you are what you eat,"
is way more literal than you might think. The food choices you make, meal after meal, are shaping the physical structure and the minute-to-minute performance of your brain.
So here it is. This is the blueprint. This is the cheat sheet from your brain's owner's manual. It's actually pretty simple. You build its structure with good fats, you balance its communications with amino acids, you protect it with a shield of micronutrients, and you give it high-quality, steady fuel from complex carbs.
And that's really the big takeaway here. Every single meal, every snack is a new opportunity. It's a chance to give your brain the premium materials it needs to fire on all cylinders. The power is completely in your hands. So, now that you have the manual, what are you going to choose? Ready to support your health journey? Head over to the link in the description to find everything you need for your transformation and get an exclusive discount on your order.